We are live. Welcome, folks, to Bardic Inspiration. This is Dungeons and Dragons in Shakespearean Style, brought to you by a prestigious selection of the cast of soothplayers, the makers of Completely Improvised Shakespeare. Every selection's a prestigious selection. We are back. It's been 2 full weeks since the last campaign stream with the Magical Cane Band. We're here. We left them on a bit of a cliffhanger, but we are back with the Headless Marys this week after having 2 weeks of our witchy one-shots for Halloween. If you have not seen those, I highly suggest you check them out after you watch this one. They are available on the one-shot playlist on our channel, which, if you have not yet, you should subscribe to. And you should also go find us at Bardic_Inspo on Twitter and TikTok, and follow us there so you can keep up with what we're getting up to. When last we saw the Headless Marys, they were in the middle of a bit of an interesting situation. But to sort of set the stage for the cast recap that you're about to get in a moment, the Headless Marys are a group of adventurers who have been earning their keep, so to speak, in Lake Lewin and saving the mystical Forest of Argen before traveling to the capital city of Orst, and there finding a new mission to save a golden dragon wormling named Alda, who they carried in secret on their fey-enchanted ship down the Lewin River all the way to the coastline of the nation of Eston. And since then, they have been attempting to keep Alda, as well as her good friend, Lady Vela of House Donvale, safe. And that has proven to be a much more difficult task than even initially anticipated. They have rescued her from Four Winds assassins in a cave surrounded by strange dragon crystal and magic. They have been running from those assassins all along, and now they are in the middle of some political intrigue, trying to help Lady Vela keep her seat on the thanedom of House Donvale. They are at that manor house now. So that is where what we've done, what we've built up to, and last session, a whole bunch happened. So I'm going to put 2 minutes, or no, Mel, if you wouldn't mind.
Trying to take my job?
I would never. I would never. Putting 2 minutes on that timer, and whenever you're ready.
Upgrade.
Every time. Go!
Quick! Was it? Go, Bertram!
Bertram didn't die, but we tried to kill a doppelganger who looked like Bertram, but then he didn't die either.
The only thing worse than one Bertram is 2 Bertrams.
But then I tackled the Bertram that wasn't the Bertram, and realized, I used disguise. No, I used detect magic on it.
You used the opposite of disguise stuff, which is you took your clothes off.
Yeah, that's right. I used the spell Unguise Self.
And maybe some more context for this is that we
context, and we're out of time.
So Barwin did some, after just discussing whether or not doing the play, Barwin went out and did some divination and found out that Rivers, found out that the person we're preparing for, Edmund, was actually not coming to the manor, but instead has gone somewhere else and had a person under their employ in the manor, and got the sense that maybe it might be Rivers, and turns out that Rivers was actually being emulated by this shape-shifting creature whom Patrick disguised himself.
That's right. And then they disguised themselves as Bertram. Then I tackled them. Then they disguised themselves as me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I took my clothes off, showed that you can trust me.
In real life, though, just
But that was so that the audience knew that you can trust me too.
Yeah. Unlike everything else that we just make believe, that's the one thing that you had to do.
Yeah.
And once we did that, basically we took or whatever it may be, into the prison or the dungeons and tied it up. And we're about to decide, I guess, whether we have to go to Halefort.
That's right.
Done.
Ravelor was also having.
I forgot about that.
upstairs.
Lest we
Avery
forget.
died? Avery
Rap-
died as well?
Ravnor, I think, failed
Like
his
lost a leg. Avery
Avery's impervious to death.
And spontaneous.
So that's the end of the recap.
Avery's.
It was
Avery's
smooth.
like,
Yeah, no, you
Yeah,
nailed
it's-
it. I mean, we did conveniently leave out Raps.
Avery went down 3 levels.
Zone of truth.
3 levels, and we robbed her of her daggers.
You know, every so often a player needs to take a week away, and we always endeavor to treat them with care and respect, and make sure that their character is fine.
Yeah.
And lends a
I
helping
did use a
hand.
water spell to make a ghost look like Avery.
That did happen a few sessions ago. That was
I
real.
approve of that.
Waterbury.
And welcome back, Elizabeth, by the way.
Thank you.
So you are correct. It is in the night now of the 21st of Peas Blossom. You have just had this fracas with the strange shape-shifting creature whom you have now got bound and under guard in the dungeon. We left off with Buckle ordering those soldiers to do that, and Lady Vela, after sort of sharing a terrified glance with Bertram, had said, "It is as I feared," and said, "Say nothing else in the presence of this creature. Take him away." Now, those of you who were down there, which I believe is everyone else, I don't think anyone else was away. Rav will have just recently come in and seen the fallout of all this happening. The rest of you, besides Buckle, are in the room there with Vela and Bertram. And Buckle, I think you would have gotten everything. There's nothing, just the creature just had their clothes on because Podrick already took the belt. But I should point out, back in that room, Podrick, you would notice that belt has some equipment on it. Among the kind of basic sort of carrying pouches for gold or whatever things like that you might need, there are 2 small glass containers. Actually, I should correct myself. There are 3 small glass containers, 2 of which are empty, and 1 of which is not.
It has a ship in it.
It does not have a ship in it, alas. Wouldn't that be something? It does have a sort of viscous, dark blue-violet liquid that is sort of it's quite like almost opaque.
Can anyone do an Arcana check or potions check?
Podrick is one of your resident potions masters, in fact. So it is something, if you wanted to take a bit of a minute and grab some of your stuff, you might be able to make a check using your wisdom and proficiency, just like when you're making potions.
Yeah, great. Let's see that.
Maybe it's polyjuice potion.
Yeah, Podrick starts trying to figure out what this thing
Okay,
is.
you can
Smells
roll.
it, puts a little finger in it.
Are you doing that, Podrick?
No, I knew that was
I mean it. Did you put any of that in your mouth?
No, I didn't put any in my mouth.
Okay.
Right. Not
Just
Revel.
wanted to know.
Excuse me.
What is that? Don't put just anything in my mouth.
Okay.
Everyone
Okay.
does have
So
standard.
this is going to take Podrick a little while, sort of like getting his equipment and sort of sorting himself out. And then Buckle will say, actually, having put your prisoner away, what would Buckle be doing after that? What's his
So
plan?
I told them to. I told the rest of the guards to blindfold the creature and to never communicate. Don't ever speak to it or listen to it.
Yep.
Other than that, I think I picked up some stuff off of it. Or was that the previous prisoner and I got confused?
That's the previous
Okay.
prisoner. That's where you got the notes they were taking on the meeting and stuff like that. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Okay, so you can head
do.
back to the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Buckle will get back soon. Vela has sent someone to. Myra's in the room as well with all of you and Bertram. It's crowded in the office, although it is quite a spacious office. Vela has sat down on her desk and is pulling out sheets of parchment, picking things up, and has put some wax to heat over a small candle for that purpose on her desk, and is now scribbling something furiously on a piece of parchment. And Bertram is pacing back and forth, muttering to himself, saying things like, "I'm but he has the ear of Maximilian. This will not go well. I wonder if our missives to the barracks have gone through in time. We'll be receiving conflicting orders. And then Vela saying, yes, I know, I'm attempting to...
We can cast message.
Beg your pardon.
Well, if we know who we're talking to, we can contact them immediately. You might have to be very specific about who we're talking to in order for us to be able to effectively communicate with them. But if you are specific with who you're wanting to talk to, then it is possible for us to communicate with them in a moment.
I have seen all of you do wondrous things, but I do not believe any of you are acquainted with the individual with whom I need to speak. Do you know the steward of Halefort, Maximilian?
Is he yay tall, fiery red hair?
He certainly does not have red hair, no. He's a
Tis a
rather
different
elderly
Maximilian.
tiefling man.
Nay, 'tis a different Maximilian, steward of Haleford, then.
I thank you for the offer of your service, but if you need to know the person, then I'm afraid... Well, I don't understand your magics. You tell me. What do you need?
Well, I can't do it. But what do you need, Ravlor? Is it possible for you to learn about a person in order to be able to talk to a person, or do you need to know them personally?
Indeed, I do think I need to have known them. Is it so?
I believe... Oh, give me a second.
I could also send Dulce.
Tie a note
So
around
the spell text says you send a message to a creature with which you are familiar.
Well, if it is
Yeah,
Maximilian that
I think I have heard of it being used. I've heard it being used in other games where people spend a bit of time getting to know the target through another person, and then I guess it's up to you whether it works or not.
Yeah, it would be... There are a few things that I might permit if it would help. This is a twist of the spell's sort of capabilities. Now, this is sort of like a particular way that Podrick used Call Lightning ages ago. So I would say, Rav, having used this spell before, I'll say if someone is able to give you a visualization of the person and you're able to hold, let's say, an object that belongs to them, then I will let you roll on a D100 table to see if this works. This is sort of an adaptation of like teleportation rules in a way, and it's a risk.
Well,
What's true?
thou hast need of it that badly. Dost thou have a possession of dear old Maximilian that I might touch?
Oh, I believe, actually, and then she sort of goes to a pile of parchment that's under another pile facing a different direction, sort of picks it up, moves it, and shifts through, and does indeed have a letter from him. Which...
Indeed, I was hoping he had it not, for I do hate talking to strangers, but I shall do my best.
Very well.
Ravlor, if it helps, I did hear a rumor amongst my other roguish friends that Maximilian had a problem with finding beetles in his hair. Strange, but the man always had beetles in his hair. That's just what I heard.
Avery, that's a very strange rumor.
Is this a trick? Are they trying to get me to send a message to the wrong Maximilian?
Actually, this is not a roguish trick. This is fact. Maximilian did in fact have beetles in his hair at a very important event, so I heard. It was all the talk at the tavern.
I know
This is
not.
so
I know not how much to trust this intel, for I do know that thou art addled in thy mind, for thou thinkst thou art no longer in love with me.
If you please, Master Ravelor, are you able? I can tell you what you need to say to him.
Surely, as long as thou keeps at least a few phrases to say, how are you? For we all know 'tis rude to send a message and not ask.
Very, very well. 'Tis thy magic. Say, how art thou? Tell him my name is Lady Vela of House Donvale. I am alive. My uncle Edmund usurps my right. And I will receive him here if he will come, or come to him. And Bertram's like, oh, nothing. It is just that neither option is.
Art thou worried about the beetles?
Also, he might not know where you are. So when you say, you can come here, did you say that you're at Donvale?
Say, come to Donvale Manor.
But leave the beetles behind.
I would prefer you did not mention beetles.
Bugs.
Okay, Rav does it.
Okay.
But he mentions beetles.
So you're holding on to the letter of Maximilian. Actually, let me check on something. Oh, that's true. Okay, so Bertram, seeing that you're about to get ready, will say, "A moment, Ravelor, if this will be of service." And then he he sort of adjusts something on his armor, flips a few kind of buttons, or like not like push buttons, but like clasp buttons, and then he changes appearance.
Yes.
In much the way you've seen him do already when you traveled with him, using his armor, glamour instead of leather armor, he takes on the appearance of Maximilian, steward of Halefort. And you see a kind of an aging tiefling man with bluish purple skin and gray to white hair, which with a pretty deep receding hairline and horns hooking back lightly, kind of I would say graceful curves parallel to the head. Has kind of a scowl on and is wearing rather fine clothing. And then you hear Bertram's voice say, "This is how I last remember seeing him anyway. My best guess."
Bertram, hast thou always had this ability?
You've seen me use it before, Ravelor, and
And yet, I understand not why thou must insist that we must all gaze upon thy boring regular face.
Ravel, it is surely not the time for driving.
Thou art right, Barwin, thou art right. I do lose myself in my hatred of this man. Sending. Rav sends the message.
Okay. Tell me what you say in your message.
Oh, all the stuff we said before.
Where's the fun in that?
I have to count it and everything. How many words?
25.
25 words.
Now I gotta pull up Microsoft Word.
Can't we just watch the footage back, Adam?
You can wing it if you like.
Okay, I'm gonna wing it because
This is my favorite part, is when either Mel or Adam sit there going, yeah.
Just fast forward this bit. We already did it. It went well.
Adam looks like a cat.
All right. Maximilian. I am Vela. I have Dracula.
You need to
Come
do something
to Donvale. Leave bugs behind. How are you?
You've got another 9 words if you want them.
Anything I missed, guys?
The uncle usurps. The usurping uncle.
Ask him if it's true that he had beetles in his hair.
No. Ask about
Edmund.
the usurping uncle.
This is all happening
What was
quickly.
Uncle's name again?
Edmund.
Ah,
Beetlejuice.
Beetles.
Uncle Edmund is
Usurping.
bad.
5 more words.
God, usurper! Exclamation point.
Mm-hmm.
Beware of him. Goodbye.
You got a goodbye in, just not a how are you.
There's no
Can we start?
punctuation though.
Can you start with how are you? You
Yeah,
start
I
with
did a
how-
how are you already?
I thought you did.
too. How are you?
Okay. Now, Ravelor, I would like for you to roll a D100 for me, please.
Why did that happen?
35.
Math.
So it gave you a 30 and a 3 and a 5, a 35.
I'll show you how it works.
Looks like you're gonna play Kitty Cat Careers.
Okay.
Oh, so glorious.
For the record, we could have just sent the Tressum, you know.
It's a pretty good trip.
How fast did she travel?
I don't know. Fast.
Doesn't she also have to be in the room?
Okay.
In your room? Doesn't she have to be in your room to be around? I don't think. Your dress.
Rav,
real.
you send your message. And then after a moment, you get a response. Oi, what? Who's this? What is in my head? No, Ma, in my head. I told you, I heard it speaking in my head. Talking about Edmund. What's an Edmund? It said goodbye, though. And then how many do I have left there, John Mark? I said.
I think you're like -17.
Yeah. So at some point during this tirade, it breaks off.
Wait, this is amazing. Why haven't I thought before of just randomly prank calling people with the same message?
It only costs you a 3rd level spell slot.
I'm gonna do that every episode.
Well, that was fun.
All right, new plan.
Send the Tressum. Send the Tressum.
Can Peace Blossom teleport himself?
Peace Blossom can't teleport.
Is
but
Peace Blossom
yeah,
here right now? I think he's back.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
Because that's why I can speak.
Yeah, that's right.
He could ride Dulce though,
Let's do it.
because he can speak Common. Can Dulce speak Common?
No, she can understand it. I think.
Yeah, Dulce can understand common.
Yeah. How fast does Dulce fly?
This is a great question. Let's see.
I want to stay 40 feet. 30 or 40.
Could I?
And
Like, I send a giant insect.
Yeah, 40 feet.
it's right.
Yeah, so,
That's
and the
yeah.
thing, like, Dulce could definitely get there faster than a person, most likely. She would be pretty tired by the end of it, most likely, but because it's like a, as the crow flies, as the Tressum flies situation, she doesn't need to take the road and stuff like that.
Yeah, Peace Blossom is also 40.
So yeah, I mean, there is the fact that Dulce can't speak to whoever she goes to, so you'd have to send a message with her, like a written message or something.
What's my
I
lover
just would be
man's name?
concerned that
Bradley.
she'd be. I'd just be concerned that she'd be shot, like flying into the, barracks
Rav.
or wherever.
Rab goes, "Oi, Bradley, Oh, wait, why is Rav British? Bradley, how fast canst thou run?
Are you calling this up the stairs? He'll make his way sort of down, shuffling, like doing up his britches.
Lover boy, how fast canst thou run?
Tolerable quickly. Why?
Wouldst thou like to make a little trip into town?
Town?
Tis
What, you
of
mean the village?
Indeed, 'tis of the utmost importance.
Well, the village is just up the road, not too bad. I could take an horse.
Indeed, thou couldst, but thou art going
Can
a
you-
little further than that.
Can you
Boy,
just clarify, Adam, how
Yep.
far away Halefort is?
it's like maybe an hour and a half
Okay.
traveling overland.
And Maximilian's in Halefort.
Correct.
Well, which one?
And how do, Lady Vela, how do you usually send your messages?
Well, I would send a runner by horse. It's not necessarily advised at this hour of the night. The roads are dark. Hopefully, the journey is not too far that it would be perilous.
Oh, what time
And
is it?
please
Is this the same night, isn't it?
It's night has
Mm.
fallen, yeah. So you've already had dinner, and then you had all this kind of happen afterwards.
Peace
As we
Blossom,
should.
how long do you think it would take you to get to Halefort?
Oh, Master, I do think me, if it be an hour and a half by walking folk, I suppose I could make that distance in 40 minutes.
All right. Would you be happy to fly there, Peace Blossom, to pass on this message for us?
I shall do as I am commanded.
Would it not be
Would you
best
be, would
if
you be happy? Would you feel really tired if you did it? I don't want to.
Oh,
Don't want to
it-
tuck you out.
I do not mind exhausting myself in the line of duty.
Very well. Exhaust yourself away, then, I suppose. Are we all agreed?
What is it that is my charge, Master? Where am I going?
Lady Vela,
Yes.
would you be able to give the message to Peace Blossom and he will deliver it to Maximilian?
Yes, I will do so. I dare say Maximilian will never have received a message in this fashion before.
He is fashionable, yes.
And Peas Blossom comes visible, and he is indeed still wearing his nice green and gold regalia from the spring court. And he says, I did not think me any would have taken notice, for I am so oft invisible. But I have shined my boots this morn. They're sparkling.
Mm.
If you, my lady, if you may fold up or roll up this missive, then I shall bear it on my back like a great lance. And I shall carry it with all speed. Very, very well.
Now, I think it's also worth just considering Peas Blossom that if it looks like Edmund is already there, to be very wary. Would that be a fair thing to say, Vela?
Yes, Master Peas Blossom, you must needs take care of yourself. Shall find other means to reach Edmund if it is unsafe for you to do so. Or rather, myself, to reach Maximilian. If it is unsafe for you, keep thyself hidden. Your services to good Caliban are too important. But I do dearly hope you are successful. And she folds up. She takes the parchment she was going to write on, and chooses a different one, much smaller. and writes down a much shorter missive.
Well, he
And
knows how
then
to
turns it
abbreviate.
over and seals it with wax, stamps it with a seal, like a rather small one, and then picks it up, tests it, and says, "There, Master Peace Blossom, is that too onerous a burden?" And he takes it, and he sort of loops his hand through the fold of the paper like a shield, and holds it there. Says, "Nay, I think me it is right secure. Now, Peace Blossom, it may be that Maximilian receives you and hath questions for thee. I hope that what he sees there writ on that paper calls forth whatever loyalty he still has to my true family. If not, if he asks you specific questions, me, and even about Alda, you have my leave to speak the truth. But if you find him hostile to you, Peace Blossom, not a word. And leave post haste. We shall accomplish our end by other means. And Peace Blossom gives this deep bow, and then stands up, and says, "You shall open a window for me, and I shall cut a hole through the very night itself, and be back before stroke of midnight, I dare say." And then he wings up and sort of hovers, gets used to the weight of the letter on his arm, and then sort of readjusts. Will fly out the window.
May have 15 minutes or so, we can send Peas Blossom a message to see how he got on. I must away for a moment.
All right, we'll see you back here in a second.
Caliban is going to go into the Rivers person's room
Mm-hmm.
and basically go through all his stuff. That's what I'm doing.
Great. Okay.
As soon as he's gone, Rav turns to the others. It's as if Caliban thinks third level spell slots grow on trees.
Patrick, has Star discovered anything yet?
Yes, Podrig, make your check if you have not yet. I can't remember if you did.
I didn't. What check am
So
I?
it is just like when you're making a potion. So D20 plus your wisdom plus proficiency.
D20 plus wisdom plus proficiency.
It's a good time to shout out Matt Day, who created Rollcast. It allows us to do these slick dice rolls on stream for you. 20. Pretty good.
30-20.
Thanks, Matt Day. Let's keep it up. Thanks,
Yeah.
Matt.
um,
Be friends again.
Podrick, with a 20, I'll say you figure out very quickly this is an extremely potent poison. Probably one of the most potent. No, I think I can pretty confidently say this is the most dangerous poison you've ever seen.
Wow.
Were you gonna kill me if when I put something in my mouth? Were you gonna kill me? Just be front. Just
Was I going to kill you?
If he had, Podrick, Rav would have kissed your lips and died with you, RNJ.
Oh,
style.
yes.
Just really finishes the Pocahontas arc that's behind the scenes. That would be very on brand for us, though. Not the Pocahontas part. So you also, Podrick, I'll say, with a 20, and since you've been spending some time, you can figure out that the substance that's in that vial is not the same as what used to be in the others. The other vials very clearly used to have different substances. Now, it's hard to say what was in those exactly, but I would say even just from little bits of residue and from some quick tests that you can get from maybe dropping some reagents on them to see what color they turn and things like that, getting a faint sniff from far away, you can also determine that at least one of those containers, I'm just going to make sure I have that right. At least one of the containers most definitely used to have a poison in it as well. A different kind, and hard to say what kind, but it was definitely also a poison of some kind. The third one is totally empty, so it's hard to get a beat on.
I can't tell like what ingredients were in it or anything like that.
So with a 20, this is not a creature that you have ever seen before. But for your reference, John Mark and Podrick, I think you would have... This is purple worm poison.
Yeah.
It's extremely deadly. It is harvested from a creature called a purple worm that is... Podrick may have heard a song about once. Long ago.
Oh yeah, how's that go? How's that go again?
Purple worm, purple worm.
Worm.
Watch it dig and watch it squirm.
Yeah, I was going with purple rain.
That's much better. Purple worm, purple worm. But yeah, they deep subterranean creatures, stuff of nightmares, really huge creatures.
And I would have known about all the epithet. Right.
You don't know about it through any kind of other experience other than that.
True.
Your study of poison would tell you this is like one of the most deadly out there, which would tell you as well this probably extremely valuable as well as extremely deadly.
Right. Vela.
Yes.
Don't know of where someone might encounter or be able to retrieve essence of worm, perhaps a purple one.
Ayla looks confused, but Bertram turns and looks at you and says, Drake, is that purple worm poison that you've taken from that belt?
Aye, 'tis Bertram. Dost thou know the answer to my question?
Oh my. Oh, it is extremely difficult to... I mean, you must understand, Podrick, this is in some ways my business, obtaining interesting items, artifacts, ingredients. This would cost... This would cost an incredible amount of money, and I'm not sure that most of my sources would even know where to look. There's one... Well, I may know one person who can help us on that front. They are difficult. But,
perhaps we'll have a look and send them a message.
Look, if thou art after worm juice, I can help you there, but as for the poisonous kind, thou art on thine own.
So bad.
Thank you for helping me realize how many rakes there are for me to step on just
The
between 7:30 and
old
10:30 every other week. So I know I'll find them.
This is purple worm.
Purple worm.
Yep. They are not an easy person to find, nor indeed to work with, but that is part of why they would likely be able to source such a thing. I fear that there should not be too many possible sources for such a thing. And if someone is acquiring it locally, That may be a good lead. Thank you, Patrick. But this is also extremely alarming. My lady, if that creature had been able to use that on you or on any of us, there are very few people that just survive a dose of that venom.
How is it administered? Must it be ingested or merely touching it?
It is usually the way of assassins to anoint their blades with the stuff and similar. Now, there are many other kinds. Some poisons can be ingested, some powder form that can be inhaled, or that in a truly sinister fashion, actually you don't even have to breathe them. They just touch the membranes above your gums and your eyes and near the insides of your nose. It's very diabolical stuff. I fear that we are working with some extreme professionals, my lady, and all of you. Sir Buckle, your advice to be on double guard tonight is already proving to be all too correct.
Indeed. I wish I could go to Halefort myself. I wish there was more I could do than just sit around guarding the place.
This is what we must discuss, my lady, and we'll defer to your judgment. But you do have a terrible choice, and all of us, I'm sure, will do what we can. But Edmund has gone to Halefort, and he must mean to take the castle. If we leave here, why then we leave the manor? It's a terrible dilemma.
Indeed. I think it's perhaps with those words in mind, perhaps it is best for me to stay here to defend the manor. Also, off the record, I'm very eager to test this new armor out.
I'll bet. Vela looks at you, Buckle, and says, Sir Buckle, Captain Buckle, and all of you, you have done so much. I have asked a great deal of you already. Captain, I think you will best serve your charge if you are by my side wherever it is I go, for now.
Agreed.
But I fear me that must take us to Halefort soon, not immediately. I'm not sure. But, as they say in some circles, possession is 9/10 of the law. It is a matter of what we possess. Now we possess the manor, but if Edmund goes to the castle, receives Maximilian's approval and that of the council and the city of other stewards, then he is as good as Thane. And who knows what lies he can be spreading into their ears about a strange pretender who has taken his house by force.
Ravelor, would it be possible for thou to use that very spell that thou did just use to send a message to Rivers, the real one, for we know what he looks and sounds like?
Well, 'tis an interesting philosophical question, for is knowing a person only knowing what they look and sound like? Thou art shallow, Buckle.
We did realistically believe the doppelganger was he. That is more than a superficial knowing of a person.
Aye, but to see a face, is that to know a person to their core?
No, but I do not think you surely did not know this Halefort fellow to the core to send him a message.
Indeed, and that is why I got some random. Nay, but 'tis good fun. We shall try it. As long as thou dost not make me watch Bertram shapeshift again like a disgusting little man-sized chameleon.
Bertram touches something on his armor and becomes an ogre,
No.
but only medium size. I believe crud was the word.
Hey.
Was one of many that comes to mind when I think of the.
It's a great shame, Ravelor, that I was unable to play my part in your show.
Aye, but in a way thou art playing thy part in my show already, the villain. Thanks, buddy.
Vela is looking down at the parchment that she was starting to write on, and then she looks up to all of you and says, I'm grateful that all of you put in the great work you did this day in finding so many people willing to rise when their thane did call them. If we are to go to Halefort, I am somewhat more heartened to find that it is not an entirely emptied nest that we do leave behind us. For I do fear me that mine uncle, by either his own policy or by the guile of that Buckingham was with him, Worthington is his name. That Worthington, I fear that if we do make our move, some other agents of mine uncle's will hither come and work their mischief. But perhaps good Peace Blossom's report shall set our minds at ease about what is possible. Until such a time, we shall make preparations here as though we must make all due haste to Halefort on the morrow, and if we are so disproven, then perhaps those preparations are not ill-made in any case. Very well. Is there anything that any of you do need from me?
I shall go dress myself. And Rav goes upstairs to change out of his robe.
Bradley sort of confusedly follows after a discreet distance, having been standing outside the door after the horse conversation.
Come in, Bradley. I shall give thee a death by purple worm venom.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god.
I only request to thee, Lady Vela, that to please send word to me at any moment during the night if thou feelest anxious or threatened or what's the word? Bad curious about anything. What's the word?
Concerned?
What? Is it suspicious?
Suspicious, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And
We are soothsayers, and this is
Bad curious.
Don't be bad curious. Don't
like
be bad
it's the
curious.
prequel to Bad Santa.
curious. Whoa.
Oh my god.
So great. We need a glossary.
I hope it is not onerous to your duties if my chambers above, I have an antechamber, a kind of sitting room, and then my actual bed chambers. Perhaps if you and or your guards would take up residence in that antechamber for the night in your rotations. I trust your judgment, but...
You remind me that this was the plan. Ravelor and I
Yes.
agreed to guard thee during the night.
And good
Yes.
lady Dale Woods, I would feel more comfortable if I could cast a warding spell on thee. Would grant thee some protection whilst I would sleep, if that canst.
Well, Barwin, I have seen you work wonders, and if I will accept your kindness with thanks, knowing that whatever is in my power to repay, I hope I shall do so with justice in time. What are you going to cast on her?
Death Ward.
Okay.
Death Ward.
Very cool. Does Death Ward have a duration?
It's 8 hours.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So you can do that?
Yeah.
Would you like to do that now?
I think Barwin would wait until Bella goes back to her quarters.
That time. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I shall be at your disposal before I do retire, although it may be a difficult companion for me to find this evening. Now, I do have some business to accomplish here, I think, before I attempt to retire. I shall my door here leave open, and Captain, whatever protective arrangements you wish to have, I am at your disposal.
It's been a long night. I was aware of the word suspicious. It's just it's very late.
I can promise to you, Captain, I have some bad curiosities of mine own.
Oh, if only Rav was here to hear that.
Actually, who is here right now?
Avery.
Avery.
Yeah.
Which of you, do all of you have crazy high passive insight?
Buckle does not.
Buckle doesn't.
Passive insight?
Yes, it'll be on your character sheet. This is very rarely used, but it's on the
14.
sort of bottom left area.
I have a 14.
Well, my
14?
passive insight's only 15.
18.
Arwen,
10.
Hey.
you would see when Lady Vela says those bad curiosities of her own, her eyes kind of unconsciously drift to the wall on the other side of the office from the desk where she's sitting, where there's some bookshelves and stuff on the wall. But it's just a moment, and then she kind of looks back down to her work and shakes her head.
My lady, would thou wish that we go through the passages and check them out? We have not done that yet.
Oh, of course. Passages in the house, yes. So why? One of the prisoners mentioned something of the kind, did they not?
Indeed.
Well, it might be of some use then to gather such intelligence. I can't say that I do know of their locations.
My lady, why didst thou look just then at those bookshelves? That does not mind me asking.
Did I? It's just my mind misgives. I must be 100 times I have thought and reread my sister Lila's letter. She said that she did hear my voice from the very walls. And why this was her study, I am haunted by this thought.
Well, then we should take a torch to any darkness. Let's investigate.
Yeah. My house is yours. If you require anything from me, do let me know.
I will. Avery, art thou good at investigating such things as these? So help me look.
I'm fantastic at investigation. And with that, she walks over to the bookshelf and starts aggressively shaking.
Okay.
See, look, this is how
Avery.
we do it.
Avery, make an investigation check, and if Barwin is helping, you can do it with advantage. Caliban, you were making a check of your own. You're actually still doing that. You've gone to Lord Rivers's apartments. Look at all those nuts. Whoa!
Yeah.
That's a nat 20 plus 5 for a 25. Hey.
What's up, Matt Day?
Hey, you know, it was a cold start last week. Now you're on fire.
We forgive you, Matt Day.
Making up.
Okay, a natural 20 for Avery. I will tell you what you find in just a moment. But first, I'll cut over to Caliban, who has been waiting patiently, sifting through the belongings of Lord Rivers. You find, perhaps to your surprise, there is not much there at all. In fact, there are a few changes of clothes, but not very many. Maybe 2 changes of clothes. there is a big black leather bag, kind of like a modified saddlebag almost, that has bits and bobs for personal upkeep. There is also in that bag. Actually, Caliban, did I make you roll for this? I don't know if I did even. To be honest,
No.
actually, go ahead and roll. What I've said thus far, there's some things that'll be very easy to find.
I'll see you later.
Okay. That day giveth, that day taketh away.
Hey,
The tale of two extremes with Matt Day.
Indeed. Never change. So you do find in the satchel there are bits and bobs, and there are some letters, some correspondence, which if you pick up, they seem pretty innocuous, just like letters that haven't been sent yet, kind of. They haven't been sealed or anything like that, and they might not even have been finished. One is kind of a complaint, it seems like, to someone who has been taking care of maintenance on grounds, requesting a different tile finish than was provided, and kind of berating the supplier for that. And another is a blank sheet of paper that has just 2 words written at the top. Dear Father. The rest is a blank sheet of paper. But other than that, there's not really a whole lot.
Can I do like the grade 5 science trick and like do the candle thing underneath? See if there's any secret text or anything.
Sure. You can grab a candle. And I will say that this is where the natural one comes in.
Aw, man.
You do notice.
No.
As the candle goes underneath the flame, there is the spidery script of text that has been written there. And
Can I read anything before it bursts into flames?
what'd you say?
Anything at all? Can I read anything before it bursts into flames?
You're going to see some words. Written on there, you will see, "It is done. It is done. By the stroke of midnight, it's done." And then the letter bursts into flames, and you can kind of like douse it, put it out as best you can, but it's definitely like torn through a good chunk, maybe half of the paper, kind of at a diagonal angle. I
look at my wristwatch.
You do not have a wristwatch. You know night has fallen some time ago.
Yeah.
It's dark outside. If you had to guess, you'd say maybe it's in the neighborhood of 9 or just thereafter.
All right.
There might be sort of. This is a fancy house, so there might be some kind of clock mechanisms, timepieces around.
All right. I'm going to run to find Barwin, I think. And
which
Barwin and Buckle.
So you will run back down to the room, which is when you will arrive. Avery will be feeling the results of that natural 20.
Great. I'm just going to double check on my kid.
Okay, as Caliban is sprinting downstairs.
Little baby bird.
I really hope Albie joins us on stream at some point.
Oh my god, as an egg.
Avery, you begin moving your hands over the books, and Barwin, you can start from the other side, kind of likewise, just moving books back and forth. And when you get to the end of one of the bookshelves, Avery, just sort of going into that rote, dum 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 dum, nothing, like the end of a typewriter, you put your hand to the end of the bookshelf, And then with a sort of practice gesture, let your thumb hit the inside of the shelf, and then your fingers go to the outside, and then run them down the length of it to get to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And your finger catches something.
Paper cut. Oh, take 20 points.
It is, on first glance, actually, when you first bumped it, it does feel sort of like you're about to get a splinter. Like you brace yourself for a bit of pain, but that's not what it is. It's a very thin spar of wood that just distends slightly at an angle from the rest of the bookcase. And then if you actually manipulate it, you can see it's not wood at all. It's metal painted to look like the rest of the wood around it.
Mm.
You pull it downwards and then push it in and twist. And a mechanism begins to turn.
Pop it.
The books sort of shudder on the shelf for a moment, and Vela and Bertram look up at a start over the side. And with Barwin's help, Avery, you can take one side of the bookshelf and turn, and it will open outward like a door. Behind that door,
Some full-on bad curious.
Yeah.
behind that door
Is
is
book
a dark.
called 50 Shades of Donvale.
It's just in a red room.
Oh my god.
Beat
That's
it.
so bad curious.
Oh my god. Okay. None of those things is what you find. Instead, you see a small, but very dark chamber. Only the light from the room illuminates it. It is just like the walls from the house surrounding it, but unpainted or varnished in any way. Just the frame and plaster and stuff like that. And in front of you, there is a stone well that descends into darkness.
I don't know about you, Barwin, but in my experience, nothing good ever comes out of a well in a dark room.
I can think of no good reason for it to be here either, but well, it's better to find out a bad reason than to ignore one. Bowen's going to walk in and try and have a look around.
Oh, it's like go for a swim.
No, she's straight in.
This is definitely the definition of bad curious. A well in a dark, hidden room.
It's 100% the episode title now. We're all aware of that. Okay,
Yeah.
It always was from the moment he said it.
Good.
Title for a Taylor Swift song.
Okay, so I would say if the two of you are both of you going in and looking around?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Then in that case, Avery, either both of you can roll investigation or one of you can roll advantage.
Can help Avery roll with him.
Yeah, sure.
Come on, Matt Day. Two.
Yeah, Matt Day, come on.
Oh my god!
Wow, challenge accepted. That's 2 crits.
Wow.
That's actually a nat 1 sandwich on crit bread, if I'm remembering
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crit bread sounds gross.
Crit bread.
I'm trying to think of it.
Okay, so you have a look around the exterior of the well, and then looking at the walls, down at the floor. Then you get to the well itself, and looking at the stones, it looks old. It looks a lot older than anything around, including the house. Actually, Barwin, do you have stone cunning?
I do.
Okay, I thought so. You would recognize immediately, I think, that this is very fine stonework of a very good quality. It is. There are some very old arts of masonry that, with sufficient equipment and like muscle, you can build them. You can put these huge stone blocks together without mortar. If you shape them so finely, they actually interlock together and are quite sturdy. And this is just such a bit of construction, and it has been there for a very, very long time. Avery, I think you would be the first to spot that looking down into the well, if you bring some light with you, there are footholds in the side of the masonry, very subtly sort of carved into them like a ladder. Actually, rather than, I shouldn't say they're carved in, they're more like carved out, so that there's like a step ledge and then another below kind of thing. But they stop after a few feet, a few steps downward. They don't continue down into the length of the well. But Avery, when you look at the stone just in front of that foothold, you see a word in Elvish just flash by in front of you. It says,
can I poke it?
yeah, you poke it, nothing happens.
Oh. Can I lick it?
Sure. Tastes like stone. Dusty.
I'm going to need Barwin's brains on this. I've
Okay.
tried everything at my disposal.
Barwin, if you come over and look at where Avery is pointing, you see a word written in Sylvan.
Ooh.
It says, down.
Well, it's pretty clear what it wishes us to do.
Mayhaps we tie. I have some rope. Mayhap one of us go down, the other one help bring the other up.
That sounds good. Perhaps Buckle can help us. I'm not much of a lifter.
Meanwhile, back in Vela's office, the rest of us are like, "Oh, they've been gone for a while."
They're just right there. Like it's like someone being in a big walk-in closet in the room you're in.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So we've all seen it happen.
I mean, you can see them going around and looking. You don't necessarily see the words appearing on the stone. They're just kind of huddled over it, looking and talking to each other.
I heard my name and I slowly.
Buckle.
I start tying a piece of rope to Buckle around his waist.
Barwin pulls out her rope as well, just in case they need more than 50 feet.
Don't let me die, and then I jump.
No, God.
Do you jump? Okay.
No, okay, I'm gonna do like.
You can do that.
I'm not gonna jump. That was just for dramatic effect. I'm gonna cautiously climb over the edge of the well.
Okay.
Don't let me die, Buckle.
I will not. I thought I was here to. Okay. Yes. What?
Okay. So Buckle is holding like your anchor, has the rope tied around the waist.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will say Buckle is more than capable of being your anchor like that, just standing there like that. No need to roll for that. But so Avery, are you going to like abseil down, kind of? Like
yeah.
Rappel down. Okay. The rope you have is 50 feet. Is that right?
I need to check.
I think most of the ropes are 50 feet in
Yeah.
a normal inventory. So you need a little bit of it to get tied up. You can climb all the way down. It is absolutely dark. Avery, you have dark vision, yes?
I have dark vision, and I have a sword that has fire in it.
Okay. But the dark vision will allow you to see in very dim tones what is around you, and it is like close. It is a narrow passage down, probably a total diameter of a meter or maybe a little more. So it's very close. So you're not really able to like lean all the way back kind of thing. You're kind of like crouched against it and working your way down like that. You get to the edge of the rope, and the passage still goes down a little bit further. You probably have to drop about 10 feet maybe to hit the bottom.
Okay, all right, I'll do it.
Okay, you drop. Avery's light enough on her feet. That should be easy enough to do. In front of you, there is an archway. It is kind of like. What'd you say?
Yeah. You're right. Keep going.
There's an archway in a kind of a dark steel gray metal of some sort. Like I say, steel gray. It's a little darker than normal steel, and it's in a kind of perfect semicircular arch, and it opens into another chamber inside that is dimly lit in a multitude, a handful of different hues, sort of fill the room. What would you like to do?
First, I want to call out to Barwin. Hey, Barwin, there's a beautiful archway down here that I think you'd love.
Oh, and then Barwin ties her rope around Buckle's waist.
So Buckle's doing double duty.
Yeah. Barwin will try and make her way down.
So there's 2 ropes going down now.
Yeah.
Okay. Only one of which has a person on it, because Avery's not on her rope. She dropped. And you would feel that, Buckle. So, okay, Barwin, you can climb your way down. You get to the end of the rope and realize there's a bit of a drop. And Avery's down there below you. Likewise, you have dark vision, so you can see.
10 feet's a lot for a dwarf.
It's a bit of a bit,
I
yeah.
can catch you.
Sure, Avery. I will trust thee then. And Bowen drops.
Avery, do you intend to help?
Yes, of course.
Okay, then. I will need each of you to make an athletics check.
Oh no. Can I make a dexterity check?
If it were dexterous to catch a falling dwarf, then it would.
Sounds like you're
But I'm
jumping the other
afraid
way.
It is not dexterous to do that.
Buckle
Yeah.
freaks out because he thinks he's dropped Barwin.
Yeah, you just.
Ah!
Ooh.
Okay. So Avery did pretty okay.
Yeah.
However, that will mean, Barwin, you will take 3 points of falling damage because you land. Like Avery does a pretty good job of like slowing your fall, like guiding you so that you don't land on your back, but it's still like like jars you a bit, landing on your knees and feet.
Cool. Thanks, Avery. It's beautiful.
Yeah, gorgeous metalwork.
And
Also, there's a room here too.
okay, so what do the 2 of you do now that you're down there?
Bowen's gonna walk in. I'm gonna look around, see what I can find.
Okay. Do that.
Sorry, Adam. I don't know. Did I come back in the room?
Should I'll catch you up. When Caliban was gone, / when Ryan was gone, Avery, you ran in time to see Avery pop open the bookcase.
Cool.
It's swiveled open. In fact, looking at it, Caliban, I think you could pretty confidently say it reminds you a lot of a similar mechanism you found when you found Alda underneath the dead temple. Remember that sort of swiveling section of wall that had the pool of golden dragon blood in it.
Yeah. And is Vela still in the room?
Yes, Vela and Bertram are both at the desk, although both now seeing what's going on over there have kind of gotten up and walked over to sort of look over shoulders at what's happening.
I'd likely do my best just to pass on what I found in the other room because it is a time sensitive thing.
What is it, Caliban?
I hold the scorched paper up and then I grab another piece of paper and then I rewrite in the same penmanship best that I can create. It is done, whatever it was. What was it?
It is done by stroke of midnight. It is done.
Yeah, and I'll write that down and just show that to Vela. And probably beckon Buckle over as well.
I cannot move from my position. Please speak loudly so I may participate in the conversation.
Everywhere you go, you're needed elsewhere. So when you write that, Caliban, and show it to Vela, she looks up at Bertram and then to you and says, This was in who we thought was Rivers' room.
Darn tootin'.
Oh, I do forget me. Peace Blossom hath gone. Well, what on earth? Perhaps if it were to be this midnight, or some midnight past, we would already know. It must have been not yet to come. I worry this is a portent of ill deeds much sooner than we did hope. Buckle, Captain.
Yes?
And Vela will walk over to where you're holding those two ropes, which now are totally light because Barwin and Avery have dropped off. She holds up what Caliban's written and says, "This was found in the quarters of the creature we thought was Rivers.
Oh.
It is done. It is done. By the stroke of midnight, it is done."
Should we ask the creature what that means, or should I get my men to continue searching the room?
I think perhaps both might be advised.
Could you send one here so I can tell them?
To send who here? One of the guards.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, there are two just standing outside directly. One of whom is Marcus, who has made sure to get himself here once all the fracas started.
Marcus?
Yes, Captain.
Yeah, I instruct him to. Oh, actually, no. I instruct him to get a couple of people and search Rivers' room, because as far as they know, it was Rivers, right?
Yes. Right away. Is there something we are looking for in particular, Captain?
No, just things that are out of the ordinary. If anything looks like it might be a trap, run away.
Very well. I shall get a few on it right.
And this is a time-sensitive matter, so let us know of your findings before midnight, if possible.
Midnight. Very well. Much sooner than that, I should think. Although the tonight wears on. Right away. And he will about face and walk out, and you'll hear him bark some orders down the hallway to few. With me.
Lady Vela, I dropped Barwin, and I have not heard her voice. I'm worried she may have fallen on Avery, and they are both unconscious.
Oh, good
at
heavens!
The bottom of this well.
Do what you must. Any of you, what you must.
The metal is such a beautiful art, but stone would have been better.
Barwin, would you like to take a look at that archway?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Make. I would say a history or religion check.
I'm going to make a religion check. All right. So close.
It looks like it's on the 16.
With a 9, what you're looking at is a little bit bewildering. It is metal, absolutely. Like you can touch it and it makes familiar kind of dong dong. And then all over it, however, there are symbols, sigils, words, and some of them you can read, but only a section of them. They are in Sylvan, and they say a sort of variety of things. The language is reminiscent of holy texts. It has kind of like that tone, like that almost impersonal like the way we might think of Old Testament Bible stuff, like such and such begot such and such kind of thing, and so it did come to pass that this kind of it's an archaic even by Sylvan standards. The imagery of it is difficult to parse. You definitely recognize a figure for moon multiple different times and ways, and there's it's weird. Something about dancing. And some kind of cryptic turns of phrase. But that you see those glyphs associated with each other over and over again. As well as some that look like the figure for moon. But Sylvan is a strange language, and you know this because of having learned it. It's a language that doesn't allow you to speak falsehoods. And you're getting the sensation that this other symbol that looks like moon but isn't quite, it's like you only know a half-truth of it. And so it can't tell you what it's saying. Like you can't, it's saying a thing that you can't understand. A particularity of Sylvan that you're able to sort of glean that from it. But I would say with a 9, that's about what you're able to sort of piece together from all of that. But there's other sort of symbols and glyphs from other languages on kind of either side of it that I don't believe Barwin can understand.
Anything in Elvish?
Nope.
But we're not in Dwarvish.
What other languages does Barwin speak? Dwarvish?
Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Sylvan.
Yeah. No, Sylvan is the one that stands out there.
Okay.
What about Goblin? Need Goblin?
If you're looking at it, Avery, there's nothing there in Goblin, and nothing there in Elvish, and those that in common is what Avery speaks, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about Druidic?
Thieves can't too.
Yeah, no Thieves Can't down here. Thieves Can't does include markings and written things, like especially graffiti and stuff like that, little symbols. But no, nothing of that nature in there.
I'll definitely pass that on to Avery. Think that moon symbol references Moonfang?
Oh. How clever of you, Bowen. Perhaps. I don't know what else moon it could be referring to, as the moon is definitely not visible from down here.
It's true. Well, shall we into the chamber?
Yes, let's go.
Okay. Barwin and Avery going into the chamber, Buckle having sent Marcus away to search through the apparently Lord Rivers' room. The rest of you who are up there in the room, what are you getting up to? Are you staying put?
Well, someone's got to interrogate or ask this doppelganger. I don't think I'm at the moment. Or although I can glower and say a bunch of drunken things that I've heard in taverns around.
Laban's preferred dictionary.
Yeah.
Rabble interrogate him.
From the chamber, Buckle's like, I could give my guards permission to allow the rest of you to interrogate the suspect, good cop, bad cop, gray area cop style.
Yeah, Padrick will help Revelor interrogate.
Okay.
That means Travelers returned fully clothed.
So is Padrick.
Yeah. So you're armed up and ready, as it were. Right. So we've got you lot going to interrogate our prisoner. We've got Barwin and Avery down below checking out this strange chamber, and Caliban and Buckle holding tight in the office room.
What does Buckle
I'll just be listening for any noises down the well in case we need to desperately get down there.
The
Also, I have
distress
not-
call will be cuckoo.
Also, I have not. I'm still standing there with the ropes around my waist. Like I have not moved.
Yeah.
Also, what do I see when I see that message that Avery and Barwood saw?
Good question, Buckle.
It's a big Cole's hand.
Buckle, when you look down, you can see the sort of stair step that sticks out from the wall.
Yeah.
On the stone directly in front of you, in Undercommon, you see the word down.
Buckle thinks nothing of it.
And what do I see? What do I see?
Are you looking, Caliban?
Sure.
Okay, Caliban, you can see written on the stone there in Auran,
Yeah.
the word down.
What do I see?
Are you there, Rav? Are you looking?
Sure.
You'll see it written in Elvish. Down.
And what does Dulce see?
Dulce will look and then look at you and then say nothing.
There's nothing, or she sees nothing.
Yeah, she tells Rav that she sees nothing there. It's just stone.
Those of you watching at home, type in the comments. What do you think you see?
Weird, when I look, it says like and subscribe.
Punch the notification bell.
Okay, well, with that plan set up to go in motion, I think this is probably a good time for us to take a break. We'll leave Barwin and Avery to their investigations, Caliban and Buckle to their listenings, Podrick and Rav and Avery. Oh no, Avery's down there. Podrick and Rav to their interrogations. We'll pick that up. We will pick that up at 9:15, so at 1:15 we shall return. So use that time, fair gentles and players, to stretch your legs, get some tea, and we'll return anon for some more Shakespeare-inspired D&D. Be right back. We are back. Welcome, y'all. It's time for the second half of our Shakespeare-inspired Dungeons & Dragons Bardic Inspiration. Hey, when I was doing the notes for this session and stuff, I realized that although it is our 11th session with the Headless Marys here on stream, we've actually been playing this campaign for a while beforehand. So everyone, we dropped in at level 7 for all these folks, and they've been playing for close to a year before that. And I realized that last session was our 50th for this group.
So
yeah.
Mel, put 2 minutes on the clock, and we'll do a whole week up to that point.
Which does mean that between the two, we've done 100
through.
sessions of D&D since the apocalypse started.
Wow.
And
Pretty
that
wild,
means
right?
we get to level up.
100 plus into some one shots and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're well over. There we go. We've done that. So let me see. Did I have anything else in the way of admin or announcement, things like that to make? I don't think so. One, which maybe I could say to the very end, but one is if you've been watching our stream and you've been enjoying it either live or on our YouTube channel later, send it to someone you think would be interested. Someone whose nerd Venn diagram touches this sweet little center spot that we sit in.
What are the two sides of the diagram? What's on
there's more than two, actually. If I had to put it out there, you got like your Shakespeare nerds, you got your Dungeons and Dragons nerds, you got your improv nerds. Really, you got TTRPG tabletop game nerds in general. Right?
I've recently got into Skyrim, and then there's a little bit of three little Skyrim nerds in there.
Oh, like if we keep this going dimensionally, like there's definitely video game and board game nerd communities. Just like all these overlaps, right? All these overlaps. Here we are, right there in the middle of those. Come on down. Send a message to your friend who likes any of those things, and we will very happily have them on the channel.
Yeah, and then get them to just like make your own Venn diagram and put it in the comments below, and then send it to other people, and then
And also, has anyone ever met
Pyramid scheme.
someone Ben? Like, is that someone's
No,
name?
only Sven.
say it again.
Sven.
We haven't seen it.
Sven, like I think it's a Swedish name, maybe.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. Sven. Anyway, when we left off, before
Sven
the
diagram.
break,
I was like, why are we doing
Sven diagram.
There you go. That's the kind of quality.
Gotta be an XKCD comic somewhere, probably.
100 episodes. 100
Quality
episodes.
content. I'm going to show Arwen and Avery what they're looking at. So, using the wonders of Matt Day's Rollcast, let me do that.
Does that mean there's going to be a fight?
Who's to say what it means?
There's a big dragon and there's a moon on his face.
Oh my god. Don't touch wood. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for players, if you switch over to the map view on Rollcast, you should be able to see that. I will do the same for you in the audience.
Oh, look at
it's a
it.
I don't like to look at this. I don't
Wait,
like
No, it's a
we
map.
have to change views? I think it just does that automatically.
Start a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
You've got your Charmander, and
Oh, the blue dragon.
there's a Pikachu in there as well.
So this is the lay of the land. Your sort of tokens there could be anywhere. You've come in from the bottom of the screen through that archway that's open, and then to your right as you walk in, there is another doorway, and then directly ahead of you is a second, both with these kind of ornate archways. The one at the far end even more so, and kind of slightly gilded. Each of these doorways, you can see right away, has massive indentations. 3 massive indentations, one circular, one rectangular, and one a bit more diamond shaped. And then on the sort of bare earth floor, you're surrounded by these rocks, a very natural formation, I would say, of kind of bedrock. You can see these 3 massive gems that are sitting on the ground in front of that far door, one yellow, one blue, and one red.
Oh my god.
No Bulbasaur.
Did you say that there were gem-shaped holes in the doors?
I did, yeah. You can, like, there's nothing else here. I think it pretty readily will stick out that, like, there's a big circular gem, big rectangle, big diamond one, and those indentations on those doors look to be the same shape and size.
Can I check for any traps? I don't
Sure.
trust this.
That's
Ooh,
fair
there's-
enough.
There's that
Make
bad
an investigation check.
Make a bad curious check.
Oh man, why did we split the party?
Oh no.
I love it.
15 for Avery.
I love
Okay.
it. Reb and I have no idea.
It's always the best. It's the best idea. Splitting the party. You have a look at those stones. There's no levers. There don't appear to be any kind of glyphs or anything on the crystals, like sort of gems themselves. The ground around them. When you look closer, actually, you can see that on the ground around those big gems, there are scratch marks. Like, to your practiced eye, Avery, I would say it's pretty clear that they were made by tools of some kind. So not like fingernails or claws, but like maybe crowbars or chisels or something like that. Yeah, someone has been attempting to pry these things loose. They did not succeed by the looks of it.
Avery, perhaps we should fetch Elder.
Aye, that's a wonderful idea. Would she fit down the well?
You reckon she could probably fit, Avery, from having gone down it? It would be a bit of she'd have to like have her wings tight to her body and maybe have some assistance, or if she could climb, possibly that could work.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be the best course of action, but
Well, when I'm
actually-
a little bit tempted, watch them.
What were you saying? Oh, sorry, I just realized what you said, Avery.
Lick it.
I forgot to tell you, Avery, with your check, you would have noticed that there is some kind of script on the gate, but you cannot read it.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Arwen, can you read this?
yeah, I'm gonna see if I can read it. How did you? What does it look like?
Yes, you can.
Ooh.
You can read a verse that is written up there in Sylvan. It says, "Sleep to hear the river's call, flowing to and flowing from. All is one, and one is all. And in that sleep, what dreams may come."
This reminds me of the
Okay.
cave, the riddle, all the sleep, meeting Layla. Yeah.
Perhaps it is a tunnel to that cave. Or not. Vela might know more, being the guardian of the dragon. Should we touch one?
Yes, let's try and lift one up and put it in the like the matching indentation.
All right.
Okay. You want to give that a go?
Yep.
We're gonna start with blue.
Yeah.
Okay. I would make you roll, but it wouldn't matter. You cannot get your fingers around these gems. It is strange. At some point, it seems like they are of the same substance as the earth around them, and the earth won't budge. It's like they're molded or become part of it. And you can see where these other people seem to have tried that, and they dig, and the earth does not allow you to dig past a certain point. The gems are firmly of a piece of the ground.
Well, this is definitely involving Aldo and Vela, and wasn't there not a river dragon you mentioned at some point? River dragon, perhaps, but
this like snaky water one. Yes, I agree. Let's go back up the rope, and see if we might not get Vela and Aldo to give it a go.
Think it wise.
Okay, you going back to where you dropped down from the ropes?
Yes.
I'm curious as to how you're going to get back up to them, as they are 10 feet above your head, just sort of assuming Buckle is still there.
Good Buckle, couldst thou untie one rope and tie it to the other in such a way that you could extend it lower, for it is above our heads?
Wait, I'm like 6 foot tall. Can't Barwin just stand on my shoulders?
Give it a go.
Hold off, Buckle, perhaps.
I am overjoyed to hear that thou art conscious, Bowen. I apologize deeply for dropping thee.
Oh, Buckle, that did not drop me. I dropped myself by choice.
Oh, very well.
Well, brace thyself, or I will try and climb back up. I may need some assistance. Owen's going to try and climb up Avery.
Make an athletics check.
Okay.
Actually, so we can have... You can make it with advantage, presuming Avery is like helping you. Like it's a group effort kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's great then.
And the base has to do some work here.
Okay.
What? I thought it was another.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Okay, so that's a 19. Yeah, you manage it. So Barwin, standing on Avery's shoulders, you can just reach the rope above. Now, what are you going to do now that you have it gripped into your hand?
I'm gonna try and like do the pull walk thing, like hold the rope and try and walk my feet up to the top.
Okay. Yeah. So this one you're going to be all on your lonesome for. This is sort of a bit of a feat of core strength to kind of pull up and flip a little bit. So go ahead and make it for me.
Okay. Mm. Okay.
5. Okay, Barwin, you heave, and then you pull so hard and like rocket your core strength to like push up, but the very momentum of swinging that way, you lose grip of the rope, and you can just see it right at the edge of your fingertips as you fall back down.
Avery, I will wait down here, perhaps. I think is best. Does thou wish to climb on my shoulders to come up the rope?
No need. I can do parkour.
Okay, well, Avery's gearing up to do that. Barwin, what's your passive perception?
20.
20. Yeah, you'd see this, especially since you just collapsed to the ground. In front of you, on the ground where the wall of the well sort of meets the floor,
Yeah.
there is a stepping stone.
Oh, does it say anything?
You look at it in Sylvan, it says up.
Oh. Goodness, just step on it or like touch it and see.
You stand on it?
Yeah.
It just sits there.
I'm looking at
Is this a joke? Avery, does see this back?
I'm looking.
Does anyone?
Lick it.
How about the Fellowship of the Ring?
I haven't seen or read those books. I don't know what you're referring to.
Okay.
Oh,
Fine.
Mayhap say
Oh.
the word.
Oh,
Yeah.
Say up in Sylvan.
all right. That
Ballon.
one says up in Sylvan.
Arwen, the below you, the stair step slowly begins to rise, lifting you up in a very kind of calm, sedate rate. It's a little bit precarious, maybe. No handrails or anything here. You're just like getting picked straight up this wall, and it's the weirdest thing. It doesn't make a sound. It's like it's going through water, just stone against stone, but not making any kind of friction or anything like that. It's more like the stone itself is moving up itself.
This stuff be the most intricate and magical stone I have ever seen before. Buckle look.
Buckles, sure enough. Barwin's head will crest the side of the well, right where the other stone used to be, but it seems to have absorbed into the rock to get out of the way. And there's Barwin right in front of you with the ropes on either side.
That is amazing.
does look fun.
I want to try and climb out still.
Okay. Yep. Make an acrobatics check. We'll say that works for your parkour.
Yes, that's a +7. People said I wouldn't use acrobatics, but here we are.
Oh.
Wild.
No way.
Wild.
Oh.
Wild. I like the fact that there's a lift there. It's just
Your rolls are
It's hubris, right?
So Avery, you gave it your best, and you thought you had a good launch point for this jump off the wall, but jumping off the wall is not as easy as it looks on whenever anyone does that. You don't get the push off at the right time, and you lose almost all of your propelling forward force, and just kind of end up landing on your feet, having missed the rope by a good margin. You can keep giving it a try if you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna try one more time.
Okay, make another roll then.
Come on.
Yeah, bit better. It's not graceful, and look, it's maybe a good thing that nobody's down there to see you try it, because you end up kind of like holding on by one hand and kind of herky-jerking around a little bit. Where you're able to get your other arm up.
You're herky jerking.
Yeah.
I've never heard that word in my life.
It's yours now. Keep it.
You little herky jerk.
So then you are able to climb up the rope after you manage to get up there, though, Avery. And Buckle, you feel that sudden pull on your midsection, as clearly Avery has elected not to take the magic stone. But you can make it back up there as well. So the two of you are thither gathered. What are you going to do? Actually, it's probably a good time for us to cut over to see what our other group is up to. Mm-hmm. There's two of you at least going to interrogate our buddy.
What does the buddy look like again?
Well, he looks like you last time you saw
All
him.
right, so it still looks like me.
Well, you're on your way down there, so we'll dash back in time a second while all that's happening. It's Podrick and Rav, right? Going to do this?
Drake and Rav. It's Rav
And I thought Caliban was there also, but maybe I'm wrong.
Caliban was saying he would like to, but cannot speak because no Peace Blossom at the moment.
So Rav turns to Padre on the way down. Thou shalt be the good cop, I shall be the bad.
I got this. I shall interrogate this person or demon or whatever they may be with kindness.
I'm hearing a weird whistle.
Okay.
Oh, it's gone.
The dungeons are just out the back, and you have to access them through one of these outbuildings that has a kind of locked door and then a staircase down. There are some guards at the door. One of whom you recognize from before as Frankie, and she will see you coming and say, "We have our orders from Captain Buckle that we are not to let any speak, or not to speak to the creature."
Frankie.
I will kill thee!
Whoa, have a lord. Frankie's one of us. We can trust Frankie. It's just a little admin that we need to abide by for the moment.
Admin? Admin? I shall administer my fist to Frankie's face!
Frankie, you see, we have a mission, and you are but an obstacle for the moment. We have talked to Buckle, and Buckle has allowed us to proceed. But we need to find answers from the demon. Frankie, let us through, because you don't want to see Ravelor when they like this.
Have any kids, Frankie?
What? Say no, Frankie, say no.
No, I've not. Demon.
Chance.
Maybe a wife? Or a husband?
If you go in and something happens, and Captain Buckle asks, "Didn't I say not to let anyone speak to the creature?" Then what is Frankie going to say?
Frankie's going to say, "No one was here."
Nay, more likely, Frankie will say, "Gurgle, gurgle," because
You can't even get it out.
Frankie will have for a mouth is a mushy little blood butter.
Make an intimidation check, Rav.
Frankie, I've seen them do it. I've seen them do it. Can like, is it with advantage now?
I think you're going persuasive, and Rav's going intimidate, and Rav's
part of
going
the
way harder.
persuasion. I'm part of the persuasion.
I'm part of
That
the
is-
intimidation.
No, intimidation exists for this role.
Oh shit.
14. Pretty good.
Gurgle, gurgle.
I shall send someone to let the captain know you've gone in. We just can't be too careful.
Aye. We can't.
So they know, I will lock the door behind ye.
It is for our own safety.
Nay, it's for thine own safety, Frankie.
Aye. So it is. And then Frankie turns around, clicks open a large padlock, opens the door, gestures to let you in.
What did thou think, Podrick? I thought that went pretty well.
Yeah, I have some notes, but nay, performance was great.
Should I tone it up a bit, Mayor?
I think so. I think there's room.
Okay.
I always think, go as big as you can, because we can always bring it down.
Indeed, I think the same. Now, before we go in, should we do a quick chubby bunny, or what's it, bunny to warm us up? In character?
Aye.
Okay. Bunny, turkey.
Tiki-taki.
Great. I feel most warm.
3 hours later. 3 hours. My mother
That'll be
makes me
$200,
mini
please.
M&Ms on a Monday morning. Ooh, ah.
Ooh, indeed.
The worst thing about it being 3 hours later would be it would nearly be midnight.
It would be past midnight at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, Padric and Rav, you have the run of the place. It is empty. There is a cell in the upper ground area where the folks who you identified as traitors a few days before are curled up in their various cells, kind of looking desultorily back out at you all and then rolling back over, resigned to their fate. And then there is a staircase downward to the more dungeons proper, as opposed to the just kind of holding cells. And it's darker. There are some tapers lit, but it's quite dim. There are heavy duty cells down here with heavy wrought iron sliding gates and large locks on them. And they are all empty, save one down at the end on the right. And as you approach, you see that there, hanging with manacled arms, looking out at you, is the apparent form of Padric.
Now, Ravelor, best way last time for us to distinguish who is who was for me to derobe. Wouldst thou like me to do it again?
Indeed, Padric, but to make thee feel comfortable, I shall also derobe.
Also, the fake Padric is in a blindfold right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
And manacled to a wall.
But
in
we
a cell.
can't be too bad curious. So I think this be for the best.
Well, wilt thou not acknowledge thy betters, worm?
Oh. I realize not any were present.
It even sounds like me.
Wait, Padric, it sounds not like thee in this.
No, 'tis true. 'Tis true. Good demon. You do sound like the soothing baritone that Padric be.
No, Padric, because thy mouth is located on thy face, a certain distance from thine ears, it sounds the same to thee, but is different entirely.
Hey, I sound sexy. Sing for me, Padric.
Nay, sing not, unless it be to sing of the confession variety, for then sing thou shall.
Aye.
Say what you've come here to say. Be off with you.
We know not the answer. Tis for you to say what we want you to say.
All right. This is the shakedown, then, is so?
Thou shalt be lucky to have a shakedown from the likes of us, for we shake not down, we chop down.
It's true. It's true. And thou dost not want to chop.
Then Rav just screams in his face.
You going into the cell.
He just goes, "Ah!"
So the cell is locked currently. You would have to go get in his face. You'll have to go get a key from a guard and come and unlock it.
Why did we? Come on, we got the stuff for
Do you
free.
want to say you've gotten the key from the guard and do that? You're welcome to do that.
Oh, yeah, let's flash back to the point.
Okay. We can say you got a key from Frankie, whom you scared. So you're in the cell with the manacled creature now, who's blindfolded.
Yes.
And
So
you're
you
saying
scream
you're
in
naked.
his face.
And you're naked. Yeah?
Yes.
You both disrobed.
Yes. How
Okay.
else do you interrogate? I don't understand.
Just so
Can
you
even think
know,
of one answer to that question. Who even? Okay.
just so you know, Padric, with the baritone, we have each of us have derobed, so we know who is who. You cannot trick us.
Is that so?
Aye.
I'll do my best not to trick you then.
Sexy voice.
Podrick, stay focused on the task at hand.
Oh, sorry. I will stay on the task at hand.
Hey, Podrick, that is the safety risks. Then I will think that thou art him, and I will accidentally interrogate thee.
But Ravelor, if you ever do get confused, just look at me, but down. Then you'll know.
Anyways, who art thou, and who sent thee, and what secrets have thee? Out with them now.
Oh, you won't like it when she's like, oh, you won't like it when he's like this. So, best you fess up. Sweet, sweet tonal magician.
Make another intimidation check.
Me?
You can either both roll one, or one of you who's leading this can make it with advantage, but you've both been contributing to this so far.
What's your intimidation? Mine's 7.
+7? Yours is +7?
Yeah.
Rav is the one who screamed in his face.
Mine's -1.
All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna roll both.
Glad we chose you to go for the thing.
I was always going to be good cop.
I'm intimidating,
Not bad,
especially
not
when
bad.
I'm naked with both my tails hanging out.
Yeah,
Rav,
actually, Podrick's now intimidated of Ravelor.
To be honest, the DC on this was very high, but you do think, because your passive insight is also quite high, this creature does not seem rattled. They seem very cool, collected, but when you scream right up in their face, they do jump a bit, and like a hand involuntarily kind of moves forward on the manacles until the end of its kind of chains, and then relax. Want to understand that it is to be torture, then?
If thou shalt have it that way, aye.
I've.
But it need not be.
That was what I was going to say.
Sorry, I'm stepping on your toes a bit, aren't I?
Nay, no.
I'm supposed to be the me. I will torture thee!
Oh, you didn't want to go there, did you?
All right. Easy does it, then. You wish to know who I am?
Indeed.
Boy.
Then what knows me, do call me Robber.
Oh, that's it?
There's more.
That's what they
More.
know.
Robber Moore is what they call me.
But that's what they know you as. But what do they know you for? Robber Moore.
I like to think the truth of that's in my name.
Nay,
More?
thou canst not deceive us into believing thou art some petty pickpocket.
And to be fair, your name has 2 words and they both have 2 different meanings. Which one? What, both together? You rob more things?
Robber has 2 meanings?
No, as in more. Robber has a meaning and more has a meaning.
More has a meaning.
What do they know?
Well, indeed,
was-
more has multiple meanings.
Hi.
As in, upon the moors, or the Moors from the Iberian Peninsula. Never mind. Anyways.
The where now?
Have we scared you yet?
Didn't realize Rav was planes hopping.
That's why I stopped.
What do I know you for? Robber Moore? We're not sure. So
Well then,
we'll get to the core.
if I my brothers do have, most people don't know me at all. It's a great privilege you've been afforded hearing that name aloud. Not many do. Not many will still be living.
And, Mr. Moore, what be thy business here in Donvale?
How about you guess? I'll tell you if you're right.
Robbing things. That's your name. You rob stuff.
I
You rob
suppose,
more.
yes, I have taken some things.
Yeah, nailed it.
How about thou tell'st me, or I shall rob thy face of its solid structure?
When you say that, Rav,
Oh no.
the face ripples like liquid.
Yucky.
It changes in front of you. It goes smaller. The hair receding into the face, the body shrinking down.
No, he is going to do the child thing that Caliban said.
He's much younger looking, human looking. It's the face you've seen before, Rav. Long, long time ago. A face you used to see through a chink in a wooden fence. A face you used to see running through the streets of Twin Rivers.
Oh my god, someone's in the waiting room.
A face when last you saw, it was hanging by a noose,
Oh my god, it's
swinging in
Shay.
the town square. It's the face of Carlin, staring up at you. And then the
Face of-
voice,
What did you say, Carlin?
Carlin, yeah.
Is it a vampire kid? Was this the...
The blindfold starts to slip down the smaller head, down around his neck,
Crap.
and then looking up with these crystal clear brown eyes, tears welling up. Rav, don't make me lose my face. Not again.
Oh, Revelor, we're naked in front of a minor.
Nay, Podrick, we are not, for 'tis only a vision, and it affects me not.
I do not know how to feel about this.
Think of those sweet visions that we did weave together.
Oh, and
As
it's
we did walk along the path
the kids looking
by
out.
the Lewin River, you told me of a bright, beautiful future. It could have been, Ravelor.
Thou
It could
art
have been.
dead. Thou art not alive.
I'm here. Don't leave me, Rav. Not again.
Tis magic, Podrick, tis magic.
Podrick, I like this not at all.
Podrick uses hideous laughter.
You're gonna cast a spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good. A
Okay.
terrifying dead child laughing hysterically. That's scary.
Let's tell me your save and the attribute.
It's a wisdom save.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by the attribute? Just tell you what happens. If it works, then you go prone. Basically, is what.
Okay.
Remember when you guys thought it was a good idea to send the two clowns in? To...
What was your number again, Podrick? 15? Okay. The creature saves, just. And then, so how does Podrick cast hideous laughter? You know the effect of this spell, right? Is it makes them fall on the ground laughing over and over again.
Podrick casts a feather out of it, like the leaves from the lemon myrtle, and it like tickles them. He just does like a little tickling thing
Motion. That's the somatic
motion, and
component.
then they just start laughing.
Well,
If it works.
it did not work, unfortunately, in this case, because the creature just made the save. And so, still in the guise of Carlin, I should say the shape, the body of Carlin, looks up at you, Rav, and says, I thought you were going to find me. In the end, I really did. Right up at the end, at the gallows, I thought Rav will come.
How does he know these things, Podrick? For
But you didn't come, Rav.
I have told no one of Carlin. Nobody.
Rav. It's hard to breathe.
We do a quick flashback to the doppelganger knowing how long Vela slept in that cave.
Rav wasn't there.
All right.
Thou art a vile fiend, and if thou hast any courage in thy cowardly body that would turn into Bertram so I could hit thee.
Wouldn't hit me, Raph.
Don't do it, Rav. Don't be a child, Rav.
Podrick, I cannot take this anymore. Thou must be the bad cop. I need a moment.
Listen here, kid. Thou should change into something my size again. Thou dost wish to live. Doing okay, Rav?
Is that so? Mr. Dangerfield.
Aye.
The arms of the kid elongate. Before you, the legs grow longer, the hair dark and eyes blue. The hair becomes red and long and lustrous,
I hate this so much.
and the eyes sparkling green. Now let's not lose our heads, Podrick. As Mary is looking at you from those chains. It has been a little bit of a while, hasn't it?
The eponymous Mary? Well, Ravelor runs back in.
Why, is this more to your size?
But you should be at least a foot shorter without a head.
Yes, I should, shouldn't I? If we were all where we should be, it would be a very different day. Don't you think?
Mary, I did try to stop them.
Oh, Ravelor, I thought you were more persuasive.
I was outnumbered. I did think it wasn't right. It was Shay's character.
Landra.
Oh, what it must be like to be outnumbered, alone, taken advantage of in the dark wood. Oh, what company you keep, Ravelor. You've come such a long way from Twin Rivers, haven't you?
Dost thou know about Twin Rivers too?
Oh, there are many things I know. And then the face of Mary turns to look at you, Patrick. That face changes again.
All this.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now, I didn't think I would ever have the occasion to take this form. But I'll try it on for size.
Jack, dude, who's this guy?
Are you thirsty, Patrick?
Ooh.
The person in front of you is no longer Mary.
Yeah.
It's Queen Titania.
Ah.
Rav, you have not seen this person
How do you
before.
know? How do you know Queen Titania?
Oh, I think you should be very surprised to find all manner of things that I know.
Podrick stares at Queen Titania for a second and goes, "Nay." She's but an illusion. Grabs his water skin and then takes a swig.
All right. Podrick, roll a d4 for me.
What? What's happening?
2. Interesting. Give me a moment.
What is happening?
Did you accidentally drink worm juice? What's the deal?
Podrick, you
No.
take a swig from that water skin. And the world fades to black. In front of you. Raph, standing next to you, Podrick takes a swig from his water skin. And then just blank. Just stares straight ahead. Unmoving. Unspeaking.
Podrick,
The
Now's not the time for a nap. Podrick, hello!
Ravelor, what's your armor class?
Well, I'm currently naked.
That's right. What's your dexterity score? You have a +1 or +2 to dex?
+6. Is that on a saving throw?
No, just on your regular dexterity. I was like, you are not a demigod yet.
+2.
+2? Okay. So your AC is currently 12.
Oh my gosh.
We should have brought Frankie with us.
Oh man.
I blame the party for this. I should never.
Okay. So no, that's just with advantage because of the situation. Rav, you are getting surprise attacked. When you turn to look at Podrick, who is sitting there, suddenly you feel something slam into the back of your head. You are going to take some damage.
Is it me?
Just a second.
Why did we separate?
It was
Okay.
All right. Why did they get a room with rubies and like bloody elevator, and then we get a freaking demon?
We get psychic trauma.
Yeah, and we're naked. Like this is.
You made your bed.
You did. Okay, you're going to take 17 points of damage on the first hit.
On the first hit?
Yep.
Look,
Rab doesn't have a lot of HP, right?
not super high.
I'm
But
just having a try reading this.
Rav knows how to take some points of damage, you know? He
So
can
there's going to be a second strike. That is a natural 20.
Oh.
Ravelor, you're going to take some damage now.
Okay.
Why did you drink from that drink, Padre?
Because
Why indeed?
just
Questions?
Tanya was.
We'll find out. We'll find out. Okay.
I thought
So
that
then,
wasn't this kid like shackled? What is happening?
indeed. So he
Patrick
was.
says shackles.
Am I the one fighting? Did I hit you? Did I get
Brian,
a
I
nat
had
20?
to bite my tongue so hard, so hard.
If I just got a nat 20, then I'm okay with this.
Oh my god! Are you fighting me?
I have no idea what's happening. No, it could be surprised if you looked at me.
We're having like a naked mud wrestle.
When your phone whip you naked.
What?
Take another 19. That is such a bad roll.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
god.
We'll take
Take
it.
another 19 points of bludgeoning damage.
You're so lucky.
Ravelor is done.
Unconscious. Ravelor, you are. Bam! First hit knocks you to the side, to the back of the head. Bam! Second hit takes you against the iron cell door that you've opened and slams your head into it, and you crumple to the ground, totally senseless.
Brown boy.
And that is all you know of the situation.
Can we say, meanwhile, Buckle is outside talking to Frankie, saying, "What do you mean? You let Ravelor and Patrick by themselves?"
Naked.
I just gave Padrick that belt and he's gonna get killed.
Oh, good. Glad you're down that you want to do the right thing.
I'm like
Oh my
completely
God.
defenseless. This is wild.
Podrick,
Hello?
you're having a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
The world around you resolves in a familiar location. It is a firelit hall, something like a great hunting lodge. And all around you on the walls, there are beautiful pictures, portraits of great hunting outings and huge stags leaping over babbling brooks. There are massive, sort of like moose mounted on the wall, and other some kind of deer that must be the biggest deer you've ever seen in your life. It's not a moose, but it is enormous. And the air smells sweet and spiced like mulled wine. And already there this time, instead of walking in, is that familiar face of Queen Titania of the Autumn Court. Sitting at one end of the table near the fire, her boots are sitting on a kind of rack next to it, steaming, still wet and mucked. And she is taking a bite from a dessert tart of some kind, perhaps of the Neenish variety. You'd be familiar. And then she takes a sip from a steaming mug of something that smells really sweet. Well, back to the well so soon, are we, Mr. Dangerfield?
My queen. How can you be here? There is someone taking your shape. How do they know of you? How could they know of you, and how could they know that you know me? What? I know not what is happening. This curiosity of mine, be it bad or whatever, is racking my brain. How is this possible?
Titania sets down the tart and the drink and stands up, and the room changes. As she stands up, she is impossibly tall. She shouldn't fit in the room. Her body elongates, looking down over you. Her skin, this kind of golden brown color, begins to take on a ruddiness and then an entire blood redness. Her eyes grow dark and then golden, and the air begins to spark around her. There are none who can take my shape, Mr. Dangerfield. And the walls shift and begin to shake, and several of the portraits fall. And then, as quickly as it began, she is seated next to you in her original form, inches from your face. The scent coming off of her hair is overwhelming. It is filling your nostrils and mouth with this cacophony of tastes and smells. It is like almost sickly, the intensity of the sensation. You might even for a moment lose your grip of your senses. When you come back, I do not take kindly to people commandeering my faith.
I.
But to answer your question, one does not need to know me or any other person to find me or any other person. If they know which little nook in which they must take a look. And then she touches your head between your eyebrows, and you feel heat suddenly in the front of your head. She is reading your thoughts. Are you going to resist?
Nope.
Okay, you let it happen. You feel all at once as though the space between your brain and your skull grows cold and then hot. And then you feel a sensation like soft fingers along your fur, up your head, tingles, tickles down your spine. Well, now, you have been busy.
Can you help? Can you? We know not what this demon is. We know not how it knows. How I know? I've told no one of you.
But you must understand, Padric. Though on your tongue I am quiet, in your mind I am the very thunder. Your friend, this demon, who is no demon, just knew how to listen.
Do you know of them? Do you know who they are?
I think you have been seeing double, Patrick, for some time now. Yes, I know of the doppelganger. They are a corruption of a magic that makes my home what it is. And I do not take kindly to this one.
Then come with.
I would love to, Patrick.
Then do
Would
it.
love
Let's go.
to come with you.
Patrick tries to wake himself up.
But Patrick, and then she grabs your chin and turns you to look at her face. I cannot. Not without your help. Will you help me, Patrick?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
It's like Beetlejuice.
What? How do you need? What should I do to help you?
Oh, 'tis your friend. What's her name? Barwin? I think your friend Barwin is very thirsty. I think you should offer her a drink. She can help me. Will you do this for me, Mr. Dangerfield?
I will make Barwin an offer. But can you tell us of how to beat this doppelganger?
Why, Patrick? The same way you beat anything else. On the head. And then she'll smack your forehead right in the center, and the dark clouds straight around you. And you are gradually fading back to awareness. Rav, I would like for you to make a death saving throw for me, please.
What is that again? Just a 20?
It's a d20. Yep.
Oh,
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
looking at my character sheet. My death save modifier is +10.
Yeah, no one has a death save modifier, I'm afraid.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Rev has one.
Yeah, no. Rav is not a monk with the diamond soul feature.
No,
Right.
actually, he is. I forgot to tell you.
I really wish for Rav at this moment, but that's what Rav was. Ravalor. That is two failures. That is worth 2 failures on the death save. You have 1 left. To stay alive.
Where you at, Matt Day? Where you at?
Indeed.
Hey?
Podrick.
Alright.
All of this was occurring while you were unconscious, staring into space. Here's what we're going to do. I would like for you, Podrick, to make a wisdom saving throw. If you meet the DC, you will awake as Rav is making this last save. If you do not, it's all up to Rav for that roll.
I'm gonna die.
Oh.
Ravalor, I need you to make a death saving throw.
Okay,
Oh,
so
no.
what do I have to get again?
You have to get a 10 or better.
I got a
Alright,
10.
can't Barwin like run down?
Yeah.
Barwin has no idea this is happening right
Yeah.
now.
Buckle's still
Barwin is
talking right
underground.
now.
Yeah.
Buckle, use the cuckoo.
Right. Here it goes.
God, Matt Day.
Please, that day.
I'm so nervous.
I'm not gonna look. You tell me.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
That is a success. You have 2 failures, 1 success. Podrick, you come to. You are staring at an empty wall, shackles hanging on the ground. Ravelor is lying still next to you. Blood is dripping from the gate of the cell door, and Rav's breathing is shallow. It does not look good.
Man. Cure wounds or anything isn't going to help, is it?
It is.
It will.
Well, great. Let's do cure wounds.
If Rav dies, it will not help.
Dude.
But Rav is not yet dead. Rav is on the edge of death right now.
Rav loves to edge, so he.
Are you casting Cure Wounds, Podrick?
Yeah, I'll cast it at third level. Fourth level. Let's go fourth level. Cure wounds.
Okay. Now this is going on down there. Podrick, roll your healing dice for that to happen in the background. However, Buckle, you said that you were out the front talking
Yes.
to Frankie, right? The door in front of you.
Do it.
So Rav, you get 17 hit points back. We'll come back to that in just a second. We're again rewinding a little bit to jump forward. The door opens and Ravelor steps out and closes the door, locks it, and then turns to Frankie and says, "Be you assured, gurgle, gurgle. Don't you give my Buckle any trouble."
Does Buckle see this?
Yes.
This is fucked up because if Rav was alive, he'd be so turned on by this.
Buckle grabs Rav by the arm and says, "No, no, no. Thou wilt come with me right now." And
Buckle, unhand me. What is the meaning of this?
And Buckle just does not listen to him, just drags him down by the hand. And along the way, Buckle would notice clothes, probably Rav's clothes, across the ground, right?
So sorry, you're outside of the dungeon at this point. Are you gonna see Rav coming out and drag him back into the dungeon?
Yes.
Okay. So Rav has come out, closed the door, and locked it. So if you want to do that, you'll need to take the keys from, or actually, Rav was giving the keys back to
I would
Frankie.
have my own set of keys.
You do have your own set of keys. Okay. You're gonna grab onto Rav and try to open the door. Okay. Buckle, I need you to make an athletics check.
Athletic. Oh, athletic.
Do it.
Okay. I will show you. So that was an 11.
Yeah.
We peaked too early.
Okay. Here we go. Here is Rav's acrobatics.
Oh, no!
It's a 12.
I'm
That's just
shooting
enough.
acrobatics.
It's not your acrobatics, though, is it?
Damn it.
Okay. Buckle, you take out your own keys, keeping one hand firmly on the tricep of Ravelor, and you put your key into the lock and turn it, and then quick as anything, the tricep goes up, down, and pushes away from you. And then Ravelor has sprinted. And at a dead sprint is running away from you.
Is he still naked?
No, Ravelor is fully clothed in Ravelor's clothes.
Yep.
They're changing.
Chase him.
What are you going to do, Buckle?
I chase him.
Yes.
Okay.
And along the way, I tell Frankie to stay there, and as I'm running, I'm telling another guard, "Tell everyone I'm running this way."
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Okay. Oh, now I get a 12.
Okay. And what's your speed, Buckle? Is it 30?
Speed. Yes.
Okay. Just checking.
God.
If I get a chance, I want to try to shoot Rav.
Okay. You are actually going to catch up to Rav as you're running away, and Rav kind of like cuts behind one of these outbuildings, one of the kitchen buildings, and you come around the corner faster. Rav kind of loses his footing a bit, trying to make a quick turn, and you get up on there right too. What are you going to do when you're close?
I furiously tackle him to the ground.
Okay. Then that's a grapple, I take it. Okay, lots of athletics checks for Buckle right now. And you called a bunch of people as well, right, to come follow you? Okay, so we'll keep that in mind.
Hear that?
Caliban, you're inside as far as I know, right?
Yeah. Wow.
But also,
yeah,
I told the
guess.
guys to tell everyone.
Okay, so in a little bit, there will be some fallout from that. And that will be able to happen. But right now, it's Buckle against Rav. And the other guards are kind of running close. Some of them are running to spread the word. It is chaos outside right now. Rav and Podrick, as you're sort of doing your thing and coming to, you can start to hear kerfuffle beginning to happen outside, just shouting. Yours was a 12. I forgot to add the modifier, so that is going to be a success. That's a 16 total for the acrobatics check from Rav. You dive to try to tackle Rav that Buckle's chasing. And then, nimble as anything, juke left, duck right, and your arms miss, and that beautiful plate mail you're wearing just clanks together in a kind of dull thud, and you go, and then boom, Rav is off again, taking off towards one of the other buildings.
Could I yell at the cooks to stop him?
Okay. You yelled that, and some cooks come running out of the building, just as Rav goes running around the corner and looking out confusedly. They're like, huh? And they come back through. They come around the other side. Stop food. Podrick and Rav. Rav, you've just like come up from darkness, total darkness.
Rav has.
Yeah, because Rav has been healed by Podrick. Podrick, you're standing there over Rav, who is stripped down. Rav,
Literally.
you probably realize your armor, your top, is gone. Podrick, the belt that you had, it's gone.
Oh no, right left.
Oh, step back.
I mean, Rav is just happy to be alive. He takes a big breath and he goes, Podrick, did thou save me?
I did wounds, aye.
Rav kisses him.
Podrick freaks out and wild shapes into a chicken.
What did you turn into?
A chicken.
Not this again.
Oh my god, yes.
Chicken.
Oh, that's poetry.
I'm sorry, Chicken Podrick. I meant not to cross thine boundaries. I did forget, but thou didst save me and I was moved.
It's like flapping all over the place.
Buckle
All of that is
will-
happening.
Yeah.
Outside. Sorry, Buckle, what were you going to say?
I'm gonna send all the cooks to prison.
What?
Chicken in the prison.
Just to clarify, so he disappeared.
So there's outbuildings, a couple of outbuildings around.
Yeah.
Rav runs past one of them and ducks around the side. Cooks come out, and Buckle is shouting at them, "Stop him!" They go around the other side of this building. They come back around the other side, and it's like, who?
One of them. It's one of them. They're all suspects. They're all suspects. They're all bad curious.
Oh, I see.
Bad curious or bad curious?
There is a hubbub around the grounds. Guards are running everywhere. Those of you who are inside will begin to hear this now as people come running in. Several of the guards, some of the older hands who are a bit better trained for this sort of thing, do what is effectively a kind of lockdown procedure, and they sprint straight to Lady Vela's room. There's already one guard there and another one nearby, but a few others converge and they like come bursting into that room, checking on each of you who are there, who I think, and the top is Caliban, and that's it, right? Caliban, Lady Vela, and Avery.
Yeah.
Avery's. Oh yeah, Avery and Barwin have climbed up at this time, haven't they?
Yeah.
So you, as you're getting up there, you see this like crew of guards come running in and looking at you all. Is everything all right? Are you all right? Is all well? One of the prisoners has escaped.
Which one?
Dangerous one.
Great.
Should we all stay here then and let no one in or out?
We must make sure to keep Lady Vela safe above all
Yes.
things. If some wish to leave to... I don't know.
We're not
My lady.
We're staying.
Good.
I'm going to use my glamour-studded armor to turn into Vela.
Uh-oh.
And you do. You can have her clothes as well as the look, and someone will have to make an investigation check to be able to tell it's not you or not her.
Barwin's going to go over and Lady Vela on hand, and she's going to cast Death Ward straight away.
Okay, you do that. Remind us all what Death Ward does.
So you touch a creature and granted a measure of protection from death for 8 hours. So the first time a target would drop to 0 hit points as a result of taking damage, the target instead drops to 1, and the spell ends. And if the spell is still in effect when the target is subjected to an effect that would kill it instantaneously without dealing damage, then the effect is negated instead, and the spell ends.
Pretty strong stuff.
Rav
Okay.
probably would have loved that. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet at this moment he would have. What does it look like when Barwin casts Death Ward? This is one of your most powerful spells at the moment.
Yeah, I think, again, so Barwin will take Lady Vela's hand in hers, and the other hand will be on her pendant and the breastplate. And she'll mutter a prayer under her breath. And I think, again, that light from her hand will travel across her chest, down her left, and it will kind of spread in an aura over Vela, like completely from head to toe. And then it will it glows and kind of sinks into her skin. And then every now and again, you can kind of see a little shimmer, I think, and then it kind of settles back.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. She is warded. Duly noted. I think that given there's chaos without and chaos within, there is a strange chamber below the mansion where you have found 3 odd jewels that fit into 3 divots on 2 different doors. A rhyme about a river, a strange set of glyphs on dancing moons, and a doppelganger on the loose. This sounds like a good time for us to stop our tale for the evening.
We could have just picked a thing.
Could have just picked the thing. Yeah.
God.
I love Dungeons and Dragons.
Adam, I
Wrap
don't
it
think you're going to be
inside,
able to wrap this up in one session.
Oh my
Look, as
god.
far as I'm concerned, it's wrapped. I'm alive.
I thought you were gone.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought I was
I
gone.
thought this was it.
When you rolled that
Has-
one, you rolled
We're
it.
gonna
I was
need-
like, this could be, especially when Patrick didn't come to.
And you're
we can-
locked in a cell.
Yeah.
You know,
It was-
Are we locked in the cell? We're locked in the cell.
you're not locked in.
Didn't Rav lock it? Or did Buckle open it when...
No,
Rav
it just opened it. Yeah.
What a
Rav
way
didn't
to
lock it
go,
behind you,
though.
as far as I'm aware, when you came in to intimidate him.
Yeah.
But even so, we're fine because Podrick is a chicken. He can just walk
Patrick,
through the
that's the
door.
detail I forgot. Patrick is a chicken. Rav is clinging to life and consciousness after getting a mega heal. Lady Vela is warded, and we are locking down. So
We're gonna
seems
need,
like a good place. Sorry
we're
to
gonna need-
trigger all of Melbourne with that phrase.
Yeah, no lockdown.
We're gonna need
Uh,
3 minutes for a recap.
We do just have one more session with the Headless Marys this calendar year. It is in 2 weeks' time. And then we will take a break for summer and for resting purposes. Tune in next week, same time, same Bardic Inspiration channel on YouTube for the Magical Cane Band, who are about to roll for initiative at the beginning of their next game, in the middle of the Moonwood and a giant ash tree colony and a pile of what seem to be corpses. Anyway, both of our groups are in a great situation right now. So come subscribe, hit the bell notification to get reminded, or check us out later on YouTube. The videos will be loaded on Tuesdays after each Sunday. We should thank, as always, our technomancer in residence, Matt Day, who created Rollcasts and gives us the chaos engine that creates these magic moments and lets us stream this with you. We should thank as well Eric Matthias, who created soundimage.org, where we take our background tracks from. Check them out there. And thank you to all of you who have been watching us for all of this time. We'll close, as per usual,
With a
by
song.
saying, Thanks. Thanks. And
Purple
more thanks. If you're
worm.
bad curious.
Purple
Bye.
worm.